Welcome back to another Miami Heat post-game show. My name is Amir. Got Martel and Trent on tonight. How are you guys doing?
Let's get it.
Man, I'm doing good, man. He earned a 3-game win streak. We're finally locking in. Let's get to the 6 seed, baby.
Let's see. Trent, sounds like you're a Heat fan again. I love it. Let's go. So the Miami Heat beat the Knicks in a torturous, typical Miami Heat game where we were up by 15 points and almost blew it in the fourth quarter. But luckily, we fought back, won by 10 points, 109-99 at home. The Miami Heat are 42-33. I think this is the best we've been. 9 games over 500. Every time we get to this point, we can't get over the hump, it seems like, but I'll take it right now. Trent mentioned it. 3-game win streak. 2 against some shitty teams, but we dominated like we were supposed to, and winning a 60-point game against the Blazers, that's impressive. I don't care who it's against. Winning double digits against the Wizards and then double digits against the Knicks.
Hey, let me chime in real quick. The Wizards just beat the Bucks too.
That's good. Yeah.
They did, and Portland almost beat. Again, this sucks that we're scoreboard watching, but Portland almost beat the Magic, dude, last night. That sucked. They lost by 1, so that would have been a big win too. But either way, let's talk about this game tonight. Scary Terry showed the F up. That guy was cooking. His 3-point shot tonight was sensational. Like, he was making sidestep, step back, contested threes all night long. Like, literally put us on his back. He has been crushing it. In the month of March, he was averaging around 19 points, like 6 assists, few rebounds, shooting almost 40% from 3. And he's been absolutely amazing, guys, in this month now as well, in April. So let's start off with Martel, man. What are your thoughts on that game? That's a big victory right now. We need to win every game with still in the 7th seed, half a game against the Pacers. They keep winning too. So it seems like we're getting ready for that showdown on Sunday against the Pacers at this pace.
That is why we brought Terry Rozier here. Terry Rozier is what we thought Kyle Lowry was supposed to be. Terry Rozier, he takes pressure off of Jimmy, which Jimmy was hey, listen, go over there and go cook. Especially with Tyler Hero being out, Bam Adebayo. Jimmy and Bam, obviously they're not the best offensive guys. So Terry Rozier fits perfectly on this team because Bam and Jimmy, they're unselfish. They'll let Terry Rozier cook. I think one of the biggest things that have plagued the Miami Heat, especially going into the playoffs, Jimmy Butler needs help offensively. Now you can't trap Jimmy so easily. Now you can't just trap Bam Adebayo. Why? Because you're either going to leave now, Terry Rozier or Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero open. So I think not only can Terry hit big shots just like Jimmy, and he's willing to take big shots. Once he gets in the groove, Eric Spoelstra too. Eric Spoelstra doesn't handicap him. Because sometimes Eric Spoelstra can handicap certain guys. No. Terry Rozier, you can see he's unleashed. Because compared to how he was the first 5 games to these last 5 games, he has the green light, and I want him to keep attacking, keep putting the rim pressure, keep doing that. Keep putting the Miami Heat in positions to where he can go out there and ball. I want the Charlotte Terry Rozier. I don't want timid Terry. I want scary Terry. I don't want timid Terry. I want scary Terry.
Bro, this is straight up. He was straight up Halloween shit tonight. Let's go. Trent, thoughts on the game, man? Thoughts on Terry?
Man, listen, I love this victory, man. I was always the one that said, we should fear the Knicks. I know the Knicks are still not healthy, but they still got Jalen Brunson at the end of the day, and that's a win that we needed. And we might see this team in the playoffs, depending again. So we needed that victory. One thing that I love about this team is we throw so many bodies at Jalen Brunson. It's like you had Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin, and then he's like, okay, I want to switch. And then you have Bam out there. So it's like so tough for Brunson to score. And like, I'm fine with role players like Dante stepping up, getting leading their team. If Jalen Brunson's not scoring, they're not going to win the game. Like, it's really just that simple. Unless like Julius Randle and OG
But Trent,
come back.
not to cut you off, do you know what they do to Jalen Brunson? They give him that Trae Young treatment. It's like what you said. Everywhere he look,
Bodies.
swing on him. There's a body on him. Everywhere he look, there's defenders and there's length, and they're giving him that Trae Young treatment. That's why I never feared the Knicks. Because if you can give him Trae Young treatment, it's over.
Yeah, so I was really impressed with that victory. My only concern is I noticed if you watched the game, against the Knicks last time, they beat us in that third and fourth quarter. In this game, they beat us in the third and fourth quarter, or it felt like that at least, and brought it into a game. At least we came out with the victory, but we got to fix that, man, because the first 2 quarters were like perfect. Like we was just playing really good basketball. Glad to see Kevin Love out there. You could just tell the difference when he's there. And Haywood Highsmith, man, we went on that drought in that fourth quarter where we wasn't hitting no shots, and he hit that big contested 3, which you wouldn't expect him to shoot that. Like it just was, like a craziest shot attempt, but he made it, man. So like I said, man, I know a lot of people think I'm not a Heat fan or I'm a bandwagon or this or that. I love my team. I just like to speak, what's going on, the real stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with it. You've seen Jovic's minutes goes up too to 25. So
Yep. Hey Trent, let's prove to the audience that you're a real Heat fan. Who was the first Miami Heat head coach?
who is the first Miami Heat? Isn't it freaking it's Spoelstra or the other dude? What's his name?
Come on. If you
Yeah,
watch the
I
game,
know.
come on.
I know who he is, bro. Isn't it fucking the GM? Whatever his name is.
No,
Riley.
he's at the arena. He's like an
How the
announcer.
hell, yo? You realize I like wasn't being a Heat fan for that long, bro.
Just there we go. Just testing it out. I'm just messing with you. Ron Rothstein, the coach.
Yeah, like I haven't been a Heat fan for that long.
Yeah, but it's during the games. You should know that. Anyway, I'm just fucking with you.
That's such a bad look on the pod.
I know. I'm just messing with. I'm just trying to show the real Heat fans out there who we are. No, I'm just kidding, dude. But no, Trent. Obviously, Trent's a Heat fan. He wouldn't be making Miami Heat content on the daily if he wasn't a Heat fan. Obviously, he's just more critical, I guess, on his team, which is fair because I try to be objective, but I'm a fan. Like I'm not an analyst. Like I'm not trying to not show that I care about this team, and I'm obviously going to be biased to a certain degree. So I'm objective when I can be as well. So, but anyway, Martel, you said it great. When Jalen Brunson got that ball at the wing, we double teamed him immediately. That's why Dante shoots a bunch of threes, but we're like, all right, McBride, Dante, whoever, like Hart, you're gonna get a free lane essentially because we're gonna run Jalen off that line. We're gonna blitz him and attack him and double team him all night long. And it did work because like he was like 3 for 12 or something, I think, in the first half, Trent. And like the only way he was able to get buckets was manufacturing it through like just flopping and flailing and getting to the line. Which is kind of annoying, man. I mean, all Knicks players are annoying to me. I hate the Knicks, and I've hated the Knicks since the late 90s, since I became a Heat fan. So if you have that Knick jersey on, like F you no matter what. But he is just like so frustrating to watch. Like he's so good. He's got a bag. He's talented. But for a guy that small to get to the line that often, super frustrating. But either way, Haywood Highsmith locked him up. And we were talking about this offline, guys. So we'll give credit to Terry, obviously, for carrying the team. But Haywood, dude, Haywood off that bench, man. 14 points. How many threes did he hit tonight? Like 2 or 3. He hit that big one that Trent mentioned. I think he's earned his spot in that rotation, man. And who do you guys think he's going to take it? Like from like, is it going to be Jaime? Or is it Jovic going to lose minutes even? Or what do you think? You think it's Jaime?
Yeah, probably Jaime. Because like I said, right off camera, he kind of like admitted to him being tired. You see what I'm saying? And if I know that you're tired, especially when you're in the playoffs, playing teams like the Knicks and stuff like that, where it's really going to be a big defensive grind because if we play the New York Knicks, they're going to do the same thing like they did tonight. They're going to try to wear down Brunson. Everywhere Brunson looks, it's going to be a 3-and-D guy in front of him, somebody with length, somebody with size, someone who's going to wear him down. And I think that's exactly what we did to him last year. You know, it really just depends on if they get OG and all these other guys back, which even if they do, I don't think they're going to be 100% because based off some of their injuries. But I just think that right now the Miami Heat, they have the defenders to compete.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a video about this tomorrow, guys. So yeah, go check it out. Because it's playoff time, right? It's that time of the season, go time of the year, and usually teams don't go 10 deep. We don't do that, and the Heat don't do that. That's just how deep this team will be, right? So Jaime, I seen this tweet on Twitter. This is including Tyler coming back. Now, if Tyler doesn't come back, I think Jaime has to play a part. Like, he has to, right?
100%.
But we're assuming Tyler's back, right? So we are going to have our starting lineup. We're going to have Caleb. Haywood Highsmith has deserved to be in the starting in the rotation, and so has Jovic, right? So one thing with me, I don't know what it is. I gave up on LaMelo Ball his second year in the NBA. I gave up on young players too quick, really, really quick, and I can admit to that. So with Jovic, I may don't see what y'all see into him, but what I do see is that he fits perfect with Bam, and so I like that. But with Tyler coming back, I think he needs to come off the bench, and you go out there with Tyler, Caleb, Kevin Love, and Haywood Smith. I think you sprinkle Jaime in there a little bit, but I think that's our rotation right there. And depending the matchups, you may see DeLon right out there. Please do not put Patty Mills out on the court ever again. Just please do not. But one thing I will say too is Caleb. I'm kind of, man, hopefully he can prove me wrong. I'm not so big on Caleb this year. And I know his injuries, and I know he had a stretch where he's playing good, but today's game was a lot of just errors. And I don't know. Caleb just to me has been not the Caleb that I want, the Eastern Conference Caleb. I don't know if that's how y'all feel too.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
Caleb is
He's really up, and he's been playing through injuries, so I'll give him that leeway. But
yeah.
I do agree to some extent. But he's been playing through an ankle and wrist and all these other things. So
It's just, and I think he's going to be in a rotation no matter what. We can't afford to keep him out. I'm just being a little nitpicking and stuff like that. But I think that's our 9-man rotation. And to be honest, if Tyler comes off the bench, this is all what we've been asking for. I think it's going to be fun because you could tell Terry and Jimmy are getting their chemistry better. And Bam's going to get his opportunities, of course. And, with him stretching out his game, shooting the threes, it's going to make the offense a little bit more explosive. Kevin Love with his touchdown passes, Haywood Highsmith with good defensive stops. But not only that, the dude's shooting threes 40%. That's a really, really good clip. So this team should be fine if we get the 6th seed, because whoever's that 3rd seed, I'm hoping is the Cavs. We will win that matchup easily. I promise you. So
yeah, I think I agree with the Caleb sentiment. He had 3 turnovers, and they looked kind of bad. 3 for 8 from the field. It felt like he had more points because he made some big plays in that fourth quarter, and he had 7 points. But he's just been inconsistent. You want to call it injuries at times, sure, but he's also an undrafted role player. And also, let's take the undrafted piece out, but he's a role player. And that's what happens when you're a role player is you're inconsistent because you're not a star, because stars are consistent. Superstars are supposed to be even more consistent at a different level, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, right? We have so many guys that are capable of playing good each night during a playoff game. It could be a combination of Haywood and Caleb one game, right? That can help us win as long as Bam and Jimmy and Terry, and if Tyler comes back, are doing their thing. Then another night, it could be Jovic having a good night with K Love and then Duncan. There's just different variables and pieces. So we do have a deep roster. Again, I've mentioned you guys hate when we talk about injuries because it's just the facts for this team for the past 5 years. We've always been injured. It's just the type of players that we have, right? I guess they're prone to injury or injury prone, right? I think Tyler's prone to injury. I don't think he's injury prone. There's a difference because he keeps getting fluke injuries, or you want to call them fluke injuries, but they're also different injuries. It's not the same thing. It's not always his back. It's not always his knee. It's always something new, which makes it even more annoying. What the fuck's going on? But anyway, I think you're right with the rotation, Trent. I think Jaime is still going to play, but he's not going to play in that 20-minute range. It might be you're going to get 10 minutes here, maybe 12 minutes here. Unless someone's hurt, unless someone's in foul trouble, and someone's playing really badly, you never know. Because again, Haywood is a role player. He's playing good for the last few weeks, but do you remember a couple weeks ago before that, he was ass. There's games where he was like, why is he playing right now? Because all he can do is play defense, but we need offense because we're a top defensive team, but we're a horrible offensive team, right? So speaking of role players, I'm done with that. We realize they're going to be consistently inconsistent. Let's talk about Jimmy. I don't want to be critical on Jimmy right now because we won. He played good enough. He had 17 points, I think. He was doing really good in terms of playmaking. Like he was allowing Terry to cook. Whoever said that, I agree with that. 5 rebounds, 6 assists, only 12 shots, 5 for 12, 1 for 3 from 3. He got to the line 6 times, which is good. That's like a barometer. Like he needs to get to the line at least 3 times where he's shooting 6 to 8 free throws. He did have 4 turnovers, but what are your thoughts on Jimmy? Again, not a bad game. He's been doing this the last few games against the other teams that were crappy in these huge blowouts. So I didn't expect him to do much in those games because of the circumstances of us playing crappy teams and blowing them out. But in this game, I thought like, okay, Jimmy's gonna have to step up now because it's the Knicks, and then we're gonna play the Sixers, and it's gonna get a little bit harder. I thought for sure he's gonna have to score like 24 for us to win. Terry kind of took that role, right? So that's why I don't want to be super critical because he's the one who took most of the shots. But I don't know who wants to hop in. Anybody want to hop in and just give their thoughts on Jimmy and how he's been playing lately?
He just did enough for us to feel his impact, and I think that's one of the biggest things with the Miami Heat, because he can have a game where he has 30 points, but then it could be like an empty 30 points. But tonight he had 17 points, and you felt his impact, like what you said, with the playmaking, with the assists. Listen, Jimmy Butler is not going to drop 40 in any of these regular season games. So at the end of the day, as long as we're able to feel his impact on the court until the, quote unquote playoffs are really here, then we can really judge, okay, how much does Jimmy Butler really have left in the tank? Me personally, I just think he's holding out until the real, obviously, playoff season or whatever he wants to call it. But for tonight, I don't need Jimmy Butler dropping 30, 20 points or whatever the case may be. You let your guys like Terry and all these other guys cook, especially when they're hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Sorry about this. I'm driving right now, but the grind don't stop. But look, right? I've been saying this for a while now. I've been saying this for a while, and some people don't want to hear it. Jimmy is slowly falling apart. When I say falling apart, this is what happens in a career, right? You start dealing with a lot of naggy injuries. You still can have good games. You still can be very, very good, but you're not the Jimmy that from last year. At least you're not Jimmy from last year. That's for a fact. And I can't say. Let me not say that yet. You know what? Let me not say that yet. It's not the playoffs. So if he does this in the playoffs, then I'm gonna get on him a little bit more. But Terry did what we did. That's why we traded for Terry. So Jimmy can take these type of nights, like Martell said. Like we felt his impact, but we didn't need him to get 25 to win us the game. So I agree. But man, if Terry performs like that and Jimmy performs like how he did against the Celtics, who's stopping this team?
And also think about this, like if Tyler comes back, which we assume he's going to come back, let's say next week, hopefully for that Pacers game, but let's say he gets like 3 to 5 games under his belt. What do we have left? 8 games left after tonight, or 7? We have 7. We have 7. Let's say he plays for the final 3. He's going to come off the bench. We've been talking about that naturally. Like if he came back earlier, if he came back with 10, 15 games left, I think he probably would have been back in the starting lineup. But he's going to be on the bench. And do you guys remember the sacrifice word we kept using earlier in podcast? Like he said, I was sacrificing. He was to a certain degree. He was playing more off ball, trying to let Terry be Terry, right? And he was still not the same Terry that we're seeing obviously now, where he's got the ball in his hands and they want him to shoot. But he was playing more off ball, more catch and shoot. And like he was playing okay. Like for the last 4 games before he got hurt, they were 4-0. Terry with that lineup of Terry and Hero in the backcourt. So he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. He doesn't have to play a different way. He could play as the sixth god, the sixth man. He could play as the Terry role on the bench because they have the same skill set. He's going to be the number 1 scorer. The ball's going to be in his hands because we don't have a backup point guard. We're sure as hell not going to hopefully play Patty, right? DeLon Wright. Who knows? I don't think they're going to play unless it's like super spot minutes. But he's going to be the man distributing the ball. He's going to be playing with Kevin Love, with the Haywoods, with the Calebs, distributing the ball. So that could be scary as well, right there. Like we've all been saying it for how long? For months. Tyler Hero needs to start, and he comes off the bench, and this team is dangerous. And if Jimmy's going to play this way, which who knows? Is he still coasting? Is it father time creeping up on him a little bit? It could be both, right? Because we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, like Trent said. We can't compare him to last year in the playoffs because it's not the playoffs yet. He's older, and that happens. People slow down. It's frustrating as a Heat fan watching him coast in the regular season. But if Tyler Hero comes back healthy and can get us 20 points off the bench playing against the second units of these teams that have no depth, the Celtics don't have depth. Payne Pritchard, that guy's a scrub. I don't care what you say. The Bucks don't have depth. Like, we have depth, and that could be huge and give us even more hope moving forward. But Jimmy needs to be Jimmy in the playoffs. I'm not even saying the word playoff Jimmy. I need Jimmy to be like regular season average Jimmy, like 22 points a game Jimmy, not the 15 a game. Trent, when was the last time Jimmy got 20 points in a game?
March 13th.
It's okay. Like, I mean, we're winning right now, so it's like he's doing what he needs to do again, but like he needs to get to he needs 22 a game. I don't need like 28 points a game Jimmy yet if we're healthy, if we're getting Tyler back, cuz Tyler, with the players that you mentioned, Trent, that are going to be playing with him on that rotation, that's scary, man. Having a Jaime Jaquez not even playing, having a DeLon Wright like not even playing, you know what I mean? Like having those guys as like just fail safes. That's a deep ass team, man.
So
that's something to look forward to, possibly.
So let me put y'all in a position real quick right here, right? And take your time to answer this question if you know what I mean. Listen. What if we don't make what if we get bounced out in the second round? What are we doing?
Cooking everything. I'm cooking everything.
Trading someone's ass. We're trading the centerpiece. We're trading role players, right? We're not re-signing fools. Like Caleb's gone, Josh Richardson's gone, like whoever else. Right? Like
this team needs to do a better job building around Jimmy. Jimmy cannot carry. I mean, prime example. Look at LeBron, bro. Like LeBron can't carry these teams to the finals anymore. Whether we win or not this year, going forward, we have to do a better job building around Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler.
And Terry. We're probably gonna have Terry still. We'll see. I mean, yeah, if we get a second round exit.
So look, off season, do we go after a star?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
who's the star? Do we make a trade?
Who's going to be available? Who's unrestricted? Paul George. If he doesn't sign, who else?
Well, we can Mitchell, Paul George, and maybe Zion.
Is Donovan Mitchell? Hey, what's up with this contract? You made a video on it recently. Is he?
Does
he have a last year next year, or is it a player option, or what's the deal?
So he has a player option. He has a player option coming up. So that's interesting right there. But in my video, I said if Cavaliers get bounced out in the first round, there's no way he needs to. There's no way he commits there, right?
If he really wants to win, if he's 26, soon to be 27, right? Bam's age, like you're wasting your prime now. This is you. We're seeing it with Jimmy. He's 34. Like he's slowing down. Like when Jimmy was 30 in the bubble, he was feasting. He put the world on his back, right? Like and carried us and could have beat LeBron and AD if we didn't have guess what? Injuries, Pam and Dragic, whatever. But your prime is 26 to 30. That's like your elite prime right now. So I wouldn't want to waste it on that horrible organization and Dan Gilbert. Like literally the only reason he won a championship is because fucking LeBron left us prematurely, right? To go back home. So I'd go all in for Donovan Mitchell at this point, man. He's 26.
What's all into you?
I mean, Hero's not enough. I don't know if we have enough for him. That's the thing. We got to talk about that. Like, I don't know if we have enough draft capital. I don't know if we have enough players.
Well, who on the roster are you willing to give up?
Hero, Jaime, probably.
No, there's no probably. Remember now, we're 0-5. You know what I'm saying? During these off seasons.
Yeah. Let's say okay. I would say, definitively, I would say like 2 first-round picks because I don't know how many we have. I'm just saying this arbitrarily. 2 first-round picks, Tyler Hero for the salary, Jaime Jaquez, and whoever else gets it done at that point. Who do you think it is? Does it have to be Jovic? Like, I'm trying to avoid that purposefully, but like, is there anybody else like a salary filler? Because like, it's not Caleb, it's not going to be Josh, it's not going to be Thomas Bryant. There's no filler bullshit. Like, they want someone big, and I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if Tyler Jaquez and 2 picks is enough. You know what I mean? There could be someone that has a treasure chest of assets and whatever that they can give up. So, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
The question is, what do they want to do as a franchise? If they're going full rebuild mode, which I don't think they will, because the problem is they got to get rid of Mobley or Jared Allen. And if I'm getting rid of them, I'm probably doing Jared Allen, only because, like, remember, like in the playoffs last year, he said that the lights got to him. The amount of talent they have on paper for them to not win is weird to me. So you got to get rid of one of them. Once you get rid of one of them, what's the direction that they're headed? Because if they want to rebuild, they'll take Jaquez, they'll take Tyler Hero. But if they still want to be, competitive and still remain relevant, they might not even be. I mean, think about it. Paul George is available. If they can promise, Donovan Mitchell, listen, we could probably get you Paul George. Who knows? He might stay now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to go on in this offseason. I just think right now, as long as the Miami Heat can get somewhat healthy, I mean, pretty much everybody's back. Tyler Hero, he's really the only one that has to return, and we'll see where the season takes us.
Yes or no? Duncan, Jaquez, Hero, however many picks, Donovan Mitchell to the Heat. Hypothetical. Yes or no?
Am I doing it? Yes, but I just don't think the league will take that.
No, I agree. And I'm doing it, yes, 100%. Sorry, Duncan. Sorry, Jaquez. You guys have been playing great, but Scary Terry, Donovan Mitchell, Bam, and Jimmy. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thomas Bryant, you're the starting center. I don't care. Right? Jay Rich, we're re-signing you again. You're coming off the bench, Jay Rich. Like DeLon Wright, you're playing. You're playing D Haywood. Like, I'm keeping all that, right? But we'll see, because again, we might not have enough.
No,
We haven't had enough over the last 4 years to get the KDs, to get the Mitchells, get the Dames. So it's like it's all perception. So I don't know why we went off on this tangent. This was a Miami Heat post game recap against the Knicks. We busted their ass. Screw the Knicks. So happy. Anytime we beat the New York Knicks, I don't care if it's a close game or a blowout. I'm elated. So I'll take it. Next game. Is it this Thursday against the Sixers? Is it at home or away?
I think it's away.
And Joel Embiid tonight came back, looked good apparently. And I know they didn't have SGA and Jalen Williams were out for the Thunder, but the Sixers still beat the Thunder with Joel Embiid coming back. So this game was supposed to be a easy-ish game, but the MVP is back, man. So no game is easy. So Miami Heat looking to win 4 in a row. Need to win this game. Need to stay ahead of the Pacers. Can't lose. Can't let them win, because we can only take it one game at a time, man. And I'm assuming Sunday might be the main event for this Miami Heat team. Honestly, it could come down to other games too. Honestly, because Dallas could beat us, the Hawks could beat us, the Rockets could even beat us. Hell, I mean, but we can also go 10-0 in this stretch that we talked about in these final 10 games. It's possible with this Miami Heat team, right? So, hey, one thing to leave off on, Martel, the Miami Heat before today's game moved up to 5th in defensive rating. They were 16 at one point at the beginning of the year when we were doing these roundtables. They got to 13 to 10 to 9, and we're stuck there for a little bit while, but we're the 5th best defensive team, and that's been our identity, man, because offense, we've been mid all year, even fully healthy, even with Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam. By the way, they've only played 21 games together. So let that sink in. 21 out of how many games? 73 games? That's insane. So any last words per usual?
Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys. Subscribe to the channels. We're all trying to go, and we appreciate all the support.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good night.